Hello everybody, look what time it is. It's time for another installment of our Industrial Belt Railway layout blog. Um, just real quick, got the Thanksgiving stuff up. Just little decorations. I think this is pretty sad, my one and only beloved Thanksgiving card I've received, and it's from my State Farm agent. Anyway, on to the surprise of the train layout. As you know, table 1, this is where TMKX locomotive leasing is. Come here to our little drop down section, undo the safety hook, bring that down. Now we're moving on to table number 2, which is going to be the bulk of all of our industries, as you see, going all the way down to the end. And for everybody that knows from before, the backdrop has finally been painted. I'm hoping this color is going to work once we start putting all the scenery and other elements. But now the big surprise that we've all been waiting for, Peninsula has been moved. It used to be only 3 feet from that back wall there. Excuse all the junk, gotta work on that later. But we moved it down, which gives me more room, as you can see where all that paint supply stuff is at, for the industries coming off of the peninsula. And now what we've done, peninsula goes down 12 feet, so we're 2 foot by 12. And then we built a 16-inch wide by 8-foot table now, going down this way. So I'll get another view. This table, so you can see, connects to the peninsula, coming off this way of the basement. This is going to be, well, where should we start? Let's go down here real quick. So at the end of the peninsula, about 3 inches, about here, 3 inches from the edge, we're going to have a track going from here all the way to the end, and that's the NS main. 3 inches from here, we're going to have a 90-degree. Going down the peninsula is going to be the IBR, and they're going to cross right here. About here or so, we're going to have to put a switch with a interchange track that's going to come off of the main IBR, curve down this part, connect over here to the NS main. That'll be the interchange, and we're going to put a couple of yard tracks. So that's what this entire 16-inch by 8-foot table is going to be, is basically a small interchange yard and the NS main. Which now, as you can see here, we have more room since we moved the peninsula over. And then here, because we moved that peninsula, where all the paint supplies are, we have a little bit more room and some more, from where the tracks would curve, we have more room for some industry here, instead of just 3 feet. Which now, we have this long peninsula, is going to be some residential and commercial street running. So that allows me to go ahead and model some more going down that peninsula, and then the track's going to curve this way or this way, and going to hit all the industries, go over the drop down, and then end on the property for TMKX. So that's pretty much the, let me just sit down a minute. My back, oh, as usual, I can only do so much. Sorry about the fingers. As you can see, we got tons of trains just waiting, and we got a whole bunch of kits to get me through the winter that I've accumulated over the last several, I'd say 6 or 7 years now. Plus all that back there is paints, adhesive, tools, supplies, equipment, and everything back there by the stairs. So we got plenty to get me through the winter. What else? All my track, as you can see, is in those plastic shoe boxes there underneath the table one. I know a lot of people give me grief because I like the sectional track over the flex, but I'm so far down, the rabbit hole with all the sectional, I'd rather just keep going because I'm on a budget. The two things that are limiting this layout right now are my monetary and mobility issues. That's why it's taking so long to get this thing going. The other thing, the next step is all the plywood is just sitting on top. Got to remove all of it. I have to drill holes through the center supports to run all the wiring. I have terminal blocks, I have wire, connectors, everything we need, and feeder wires made. After that, I want to paint, as you can see, the framework and the legs and supports flat black. I've already got the paint. And then fascia board will just have to be later, just because of the money and situation and that. But for now, we'll just paint that, these 2x4s and these legs and that, a flat black, just to kind of give it a little bit nicer look for the time being until I can do the fascia board and trim. The boards, I have like a medium colored tan, so I'll have to paint those, then drill the pilot holes, and then I'm going to use some wood glue or liquid nails and some screws and get all that plywood down. And then once that is finished, then we can go ahead and start laying track. So I'm hoping maybe a couple of weeks we'll be able to start going. But I'm kind of happy that we went ahead and made this table here, because now this makes more sense. This is basically where the trains will originate. Maybe down the road, I don't know, a year or so, I might make a removable staging cassette on wheels that connects to the end of this, that could go all the way down there. Build the train on there and then bring it on to here like the NS is bringing it, and then there'll be a interchange track here that then eventually connects, to this peninsula around this pillar right here. And then we're going to have a few tracks here. This might be where I store the cabooses. Of course, there'll be train cars for interchange, drop-offs and pickups, and then also maybe a maintenance away. Some different items will be done on this table. But the one biggest thing I want to do is, once we get onto this peninsula, is I'm thinking about 4 blocks worth of street running, a combination of residential and commercial. I already have in this box down here, I have a bunch of houses I bought, but I'll need some more. And then I'm going to need some commercial buildings. I got some different businesses in mind, different names already picked out. I got the streets named for this. That'll be at a later time. But anyway, that was the big surprise. Moved the peninsula, built that new table. These are the new ideas I've got. About three or four more little projects, like I said, the wiring, the painting, and then we can start getting the track laid. So anyway, I'm sorry this took as long as it did. This was supposed to have been done last Friday, but I had doctor's appointments, I had other things pop up, and I can only do so much before I get worn out. It's a combination of the back and the medications I'm on. Also, I'm thinking the disability might be getting approved soon. I get some money, I'm going to get those light covers, all new ones, 6 of them I need. But they're almost 20 bucks a piece. But if I get that disability check, that retro check, and then the regular monthly checks coming in, can kind of fix this basement up a little. I'd also like to do for that little living room area of mine, I'd like to get a carpet put down in that area right there instead of the tile like I live in India. No offense to anybody in India, but it's just something I'm not used to living in the Midwest. I like carpeting for my living room, not tile. But small steps, that's all we can do right now. Like I said, I'm limited by money right now and my mobility problems, but hopefully some things will be changing with that. But anyway, just wanted to share all that with you. So, leave some comments if you like. Also, just show you I know I did a post. If anybody wants to trade any stickers with me, just let me know. I have some available, while the supplies last right now. And then we'll be at the train show, LaPorte County Fairgrounds on Sunday, the, the 23rd. So if you guys are in the area, come on out. As you can see, a sneak peek of some stuff I've got. I got a lot of stuff that we're going to be taking, plus 4 bins worth of stuff will be with me. And, it's nice to come out, get out for the weekend. Also, help out some fellow model railroaders and the Duneland Model Railroad Club that hosts that show. So, like I said, also would appreciate if you guys, if you haven't done already, my YouTube channel is at Fat Caboose Depot. If you wouldn't mind joining. I've been adding videos to that of prototype railroads. I also put these videos up there. So anyway, I'm sure I yapped long enough. It's almost 11 minutes here. So, well, I'll talk to you guys at the next installment. Hopefully I'll have more stuff to show you, especially the painting and the wiring. So, talk to you then. Bye.